tips to get the most out of residency. So arriving early, I usually love that. I'm just kind of all about it. If not the day before, I try to just certainly before the first session get there in ample enough time. So yeah, we recommend you get there early so you can get registered, check out the signs for different locations. I usually like to see if there are different sessions in different rooms, kind of see where the location is, grabbing breakfast and coffee. So I want to share a quick story about arriving early. And so just knowing, if you knew me and knew my personality, like I just love either like super on early or like a little bit, like I like a buffer. Let's just call it that. So I don't know if we can put a timestamp on what is the appropriate amount of early, but I like just having a buffer so I can be relaxed, kind of enter this day, kind of chill and feeling great. And so my last residency, I was in Atlanta again and did my whole little thing, got there early, walking around, registered, and kind of had my lanyard ready, and I was like, oh, like VIP treatment, this is great. Get into the room, everybody's like seated already, and I'm like, oh my gosh, other people who are just like me, and we're just so excited to get started. How cool that everybody's exactly an hour early, just like me. It's like, this is amazing. But I'm still just kind of casually walking, grabbing snacks. And it wasn't until our first break that I realized I had not factored in the time zone change. So I was actually right on time, and everybody was waiting for me because I was like the last person to arrive. And I was just thinking everybody was just super eager, just like me. Seated, everybody was there. I'm just walking casually, grabbing my breakfast. There was no rush in my body because I'm like, I'm an hour early. And so I want to add that as a little tip. Please check on the time zone. That kind of worked out for me, but yeah, I definitely wouldn't have been as relaxed knowing people were waiting on me had I not thought I was an hour early. So I want to look at that. That's another tip for you. I survived it, but if you can avoid it, definitely get there early, give yourself time to get settled. The next tip is preparing for appointments. So I mentioned a little bit about advising appointments. These can go by really quickly, so 20-minute slots, and so you want to bring your questions and kind of any paperwork or things that you wanted to review, kind of have that prepared before your appointment so you can kind of get the most out of that time. See the chat going. I wish I could do both at once. But again, I want to reiterate kind of going outside of your comfort zone. And this is a big part of getting the most out of residency. I mentioned earlier I'm an introvert, so I have to consciously be aware of setting aside time. And I also have to be aware that I need time to like decompress. And so what I do is I usually try to identify 1 or 2 days that I would intentionally want to go out with my peers or just kind of hang around and kind of connect with folks instead of going right back to my room or, you know, retreating for the evening. So if you're like me and not maybe as comfortable meeting a lot of new people, maybe you're a little anxious when you meet new people, I encourage you to just take a chance. You know, chances are also that everyone is maybe feeling a little bit of what you're feeling as well and wanting to connect as well. And so no one has to be an expert. It's just kind of just taking it a little bit at a time, and maybe it's just one evening or one lunch that you decide to go out with some other folks in your program. So it doesn't have to be everything. I say also be realistic, and so go at your own pace, but make a conscious effort to connect with someone. So if that's one faculty member, one professor, one peer in my program, and just kind of make that an intention that you set for residency. I think that really enhances the experience. And like for me, taking that step to kind of connect with some of the folks at my first residency has really been really helpful for me in times that I didn't know I would need, you know, to kind of have folks to reach out to. So set yourself up in that way. And I'm trying to think, make sure I didn't miss anything. Yeah, just connect with folks. It says plan additional time to socialize. There's going to be those natural connections, adding folks on Facebook. I see a few people in the chat already kind of getting that started or planning meetups. So really it's just as simple as that. And I think this is evidence that folks are coming with that maybe same intention, so you don't have to feel like you're the Lone Ranger asking people to hang out. chances are folks are trying to arrange that themselves. That's what I would say to get the most out of residency. Just be strategic with your time. It's a lot. They're jam-packed days, but you can get so much out of it if you kind of look at it from the perspective of connection.